NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson warned that this war may drag on for a long time. I want to dig into what's still to come in this conflict with two of America's most distinguished former military leaders. Admiral James Stavridis was the Supreme Allied Commander at NATO. He is now Vice Chair of Global Affairs at the Carlyle Group and the author of a new book, To Risk It All. General David Petraeus was CENTCOM commander and commander of Allied forces in both Iraq and Afghanistan. He also served as CIA director. He is now chair of the KKR Global Institute. Jim, let me start with you and ask you, do you agree we're in this kind of middle phase of the war? And what is its nature? What will, who's going to break out?
We are in a middle phase. It's a good way to describe it, Fareed. And I think it'll depend on the support from the West, most crucially. And by the way, how does this come out? I want to start with three simple words. I don't know. Nobody does. War is the most unpredictable of human activities. But what really is happening here in this middle phase is you've got two burn rates going on, if you will. Vladimir Putin's burn rate is the killed in action, the equipment destroyed, the impact on his home front, the impact of sanctions. That's burning along. And over on the Ukrainian side, it's the patience and the support of the West. So, Fareed, if we do the right thing in terms of additional military support, keeping the sanctions on, keeping the diplomatic pressure, I think the sketch map that you laid out of pushing back to those pre-invasion, current invasion lines is a pretty good place to start thinking about when those two burn rates will bring the two actors to the table to negotiate.
Dave, this is the Russian strategy after Plan A failed. Plan B is a pretty brutal strategy. As far as I can figure it out, it's use a lot of artillery, essentially destroy these towns and cities, and then walk into the ruins and claim conquest. But it does feel like it's working in the sense that very slowly they are gaining ground in the parts of the Donbass. Explain to me how you see the battle right now.
Well, this is a grinding, bloody, costly war of attrition right now. And as you point out, it is just artillery, rockets, bombs, missiles, destroying the defenses, especially if they're in a built-up area, as is the case with several Donets, the current focus of their war machine. And they then do essentially walk in and take over the rubble after they have essentially depopulated it of both people and defenders. The question really